So it's been a while since we've done centre-backs. I thought we'll bring it up to speed. Now, I must admit, we've not had anybody that I'm like, wow, since Virgil van Dijk, really. This is the position that is stopping, technically goalkeeper as well, but it is stopping the fact of a 99 rated team. We've got one 99 rated centre-back. We need at least two, because I believe every other position have got a 99, bar from right back and left back. So it could be one of the defence. We need one person to get a 99. Now, if I was taking any guesses, I think Maldini's obviously in a shout. I think Saliba could be there potentially, or to be honest, if it's going for a nostalgic vibe, Ramos could be one as well. We know that he's got one, and it's going to be potential for one of the ones that have not had an upgrade since the Euro. So Ramos is a big one. Thiago Silva, I think even though he's got an end of an era, it's definitely within a shout, but I do think Maldini sort of vibe is definitely there for a 99 centre-back. And they know full well I am waiting for that 99 rated team. But the question is right now, who is the most expensive? Who's the best player to get? And obviously, we're going to put Virgil at the top. I still think the team of the season or the make your mark is one of the best cards on the game for a centre-back. That doesn't mean that you can't not have him. Like, I've got a team of the season, Virgil. I could easily swap him out for plenty of these players. It's one thing they've done relatively well, and I think it comes at a cost of just having loads of cards anyway, but there is many different setups that you can go with. For strikers, it's not just Mbappe R9. Granted, you would definitely choose an Mbappe R9. Same with the wingers, it's not just a Neymar or a Ronaldinho. Vinny, I suppose, is there as well. Same with the right wing, and you kind of go all the way through. It's not just a set 11, even though there is definitely the certain 11 that you'd go for. Obviously, Virgil's got to be in there. If I was picking a second centre-back, to be fair, there's multiple options you can go with. I think Saliba's a great shout. Militao is. Maldini definitely is. And some of the others are up there. So it's a great option to go with, that you don't just need a Virgil. Now, obviously, when we're looking at prices, if we go over to Futbin, if you're looking for coins to improve your team, head over to lootbar.gg for the most reliable and also the best coins around. Also, they have incredible 24-hour manual customer service that you physically cannot find anywhere else. But before finishing on lootbar.gg, make sure you are using JT11 to get 8% off coupon. Once you've gone through the payment, you'll be able to get your coins within the next 24 hours, absolutely guaranteed. Also, with the code, you'll be able to get 5% more coins on every transaction. Make sure you do click the link either in the description or down in the comment section below. Virgil's going to be the most expensive at 7.5 million. Once he gets re-released, that price will drop down massively. And the big question is do we see a Futties in Virgil as well? I feel like they probably just stick with that make your mark. Same with the likes of Messi. He's got himself a 99. I don't see them giving him another one. It makes no sense if they could go and give somebody else a 99. And we are ramping up, I'd say quickly, but when we look at the different Futties we've got, like, we've obviously got a few of them that I'm like, okay, they're decent cards, they're very well upgraded, all of them have got the quadruple playstyle plus, which is absolutely massive, but I'm like, 95s and 96s, we already had 99, 98, 97s, and 96s, so why are they not more? Why is a Marquez and a Mascherano not 97, 98 rather than 96 and 95? It makes no sense to why that isn't, because this is the final one. I can understand with a Bremer, with a Kalulu, they're not going to be 98 rated cards. As much as I would have loved a 98 Harry Maguire, it would have been jokes to have, but they're not going to give that. I can understand that. But for the heroes, this could be the final upgrade. Now, I do think there will be an evolution coming at some point that gives you a 98, a 99 from these 95s, 96s. It makes perfect sense in the preseason to give us that evolution to keep us playing the game. That's the whole point, is everything's based around game time, how much you're spending on the menus, on the actual in-game. That is just an easy one to see from a mile off. Now, when we look at the rest of them then, you've got the likes of someone like a Laporte. You've got, obviously, a Maldini in the greats of the game. Koyunde is a team of the season. Where do these rank? Now, if I was looking at kind of a few of the lower ones, I think like someone like a Vasquez, Very good for the card itself, like he's a 95, high rated, good defending place and physical. But the big thing with a lot of these cards is everybody's got the same now. You look across these centre-backs, most of them with 90 pace, most of them with 93 to 95 and above defending. Physical is at least over 90, bar from a couple of SBCs. Obviously, Hullet doesn't count in this. And then we've kind of got the likes of a bit more dribbling on him. Then what it really goes down to is playstyle pluses. Now, in terms of defensive playstyle pluses, for me, Anticipate is a must. I think that is a very good one to have. Aerial is always a great second. Slide tackle is one of them optional ones. I think block is decent. Jockey, to some extent, I like, but it's not necessarily a big one. If I was to go for a fourth, I think I'd go with intercept. So my personal favourite would be Anticipate number 1, aerial or power header at the minimum. Then I'd be looking at a block. Then I'd be looking at an intercept. Now, if it doesn't have that specific combination, that's fair enough. I'm not going to hold it over them, but Anticipate is normally one that I like on at least one centre-back in the pairing. Aerial is definitely another, again on one of them, and then if they both could have block, jockey, intercept, maybe long ball pass, but it isn't necessarily a go-to. I just know a lot of centre-backs tend to have it. They're kind of what I'm looking for. So I do think if I'm looking at the top variety, I think Saliba and Vidic definitely put themselves there. I think Saliba as a high-rated Anticipate aerial centre-back has been fantastic. Vidic as an in-game centre-back has been phenomenal. And I would go as far to say as Maldini puts himself up there as well. Maybe, like I say, the playstyle pluses are not 100% what you need, but they definitely put themselves in the top category, in my opinion. If I was looking at kind of like an S-tier sort of centre-back, I'd probably be looking at somebody like a Marquez. I don't think he's quite S+. I was a little bit disappointed with the upgrade, I'm not going to lie. I thought it could be better. I really thought this could be kind of that next step up what we saw in the... Was it the captains last year? He got a card and it was absolutely stunning. It was the upgrade we definitely needed for him. And I just don't think with the Futties kind of level that we've got, we've not seen a top-end centre-back. Like even Carvalho, I could probably go as far to say that most of these centre-backs, to be fair, Ledley King, I really wasn't happy with this card. I thought he was okay. Obviously, for right now, he's better than most, and a lot of them will be in the S. Maguire and himself, fantastic. Kalulu's probably one of the ones I could closely put into the S+, and that goes down to like Vidic. In-game, he is outstanding, but I would be very cautious to go one up for him. I think Bremer was sold down the wrong market, to be honest. I really thought he should be better, and Diego Carlos is just in that S for me. I think the Futties have been a little bit underwhelming, if I'm being really honest with them. I thought they could be so much better in just every aspect. Now, you've obviously got a Maguire as an SBC, you've got Bremer as the objective, and I think the rest of them are just in teams at the moment. I believe Carvalho should be in Team 2 by now, and then we've got Mascherano in Team 2, Carlos in Team 2, and same as Ledley King. So that's what we're waiting for at the moment. But then the rest of them was in Team 1. They will be re-released as well, so it isn't like your only chance to get them. They will be back in packs once we get into like week 4, I think, is when they start bringing more Futties back. I think you get like a big build-up of cards, and then suddenly just everything starts flooding in, really. So that is kind of where we're at with Futties. So I do think when it comes to the other cards, you see the Euros, you see the Team of the Season, they are still very relevant. I think Renard, still a fantastic Team of the Season moments. Very, very nice card. And if I was looking at maybe a couple of the S pluses, I think Militao obviously puts himself in there. Ruben Diaz is now slightly coming down just from what we've got here. I do think he's a cracking centre-back, but I don't know if I'd go in that absolute top right now. Another one that potentially could get that 99. I think his name would carry weight. I still think Ramos is up there in my opinion. I do think Ramos is in-game one of the best centre-backs we've ever had. Virgil definitely is the modern centre-back now. I think Ramos from FIFA 09, 10, from Ultimate Team, all the way to now has had the best card for a centre-back. And now we're getting into the kind of how they've moulded their centre-backs into a Virgil-S build. If you've got a Virgil build, if you've got the playstyle pluses, and just naturally that very good body type, that is what's going to win you the game, clearly. Konate, I'd go into the S. I think he's very good, but not quite in the S plus right now. Same as Thiago Silva. I think as a card himself was a brilliant upgrade for him. A great SBC, an absolute must. And again, another one that may not get an upgrade into Futties, but could be into that evolution. It would be really nice to see that 95 turn into like a 99 Futties Evo. I do think that that will happen at some point. Just will matter on what sort of position they go for and if they give multiple, because I'm not going to go for a defender if they're giving multiple out. If they're not giving multiple out. Of course you're going to go for the striker, the winger, the centre mid, more so than you are going to go for a centre back. Unless you've got yourself already an incredible past and present Chelsea by that point. Another one actually is Baresi. Completely forgot about him. He is again another great Futties icon. And I think, is he the only Futties icon centre back that we've got? That's absolutely shocking. I know we've got Pele, Best, Cantona, Van Nistelrooy. Did we not get any more? I suppose we didn't. Wow, it seems to be very lacking on the icon front then. I know we've had a few SBCs. We haven't had any cinematics. We've had, what, Kaka, Van Persie, Butragueno, Abile. That's it? Okay. I mean, we're starting. It's definitely a start. I feel like the way that they're starting Futties is it's like it's going to be like this 3-4 month promo, because everything's rolling out nicely. Like when we look at all of the Futties cards we've got, it seems to be the Evos that has taken the show. Like, you look at some of these Evos, like Bisek into the 95. You've obviously got a Lucio with a superhero at 95. 95 Company, 96 Militao, 96 Rio. There's so many big evolutions right now that are taking out some of the Futties, which I think is done on purpose. It really makes sense. But when we look at all of the latest players, can we look at... where's the new players? That's what we're looking for. When you look at a lot of them, like we've got a couple of decent kind of defenders coming up now, but nowhere near what the level should be. When we look at kind of like the 99 Pele, we look at the 97 Benz, 98 Rolfo. We need that big jump up, and I think that is where we're kind of lacking with a new centre-back upgrade. So I'm expecting week 3 to really go off. I'm expecting... hopefully not a 99 Virgil, because I do want to be able to make that 99 team, but I can imagine at least 1 or 2 could see that big upgrade. Whether we see the heroes or an icon get the 99, it seems to be that they go one or the other. At the minute, they're only giving 2 99s per week. Whether we see that ramped up to 4 in week 3, I really hope so. Now, when we're looking at the rest of them, I think Cannavaro, a little bit underwhelming this year. I don't think he's been quite there. I'd say the same for Coleman, because I much prefer him in that CDM role. He's way better out of the defence than he is at the centre-back, in my opinion. I think Marquinhos, definitely up there, same as Desai. I think body types are absolutely brilliant. Orejo, I would go as a very honourable S+. I think in-game, he has been fantastic. The upgrade was absolutely spot on for him. Whether we could have seen the anticipate, that would have really took the card to the new level. But I think he's kind of just on that same level as like a Vidic. If I was going for where I think in-game, I think this would be what I'd be kind of looking at. Maybe even potentially Militao above him. I'd go Virgil, Saliba, Militao, Maldini, Ramos, Vidic, Orejo. Potentially, again, you could go with the back and forth, but anticipate is going to just clinch it for Ramos for me. We then have the likes of Cordoba, very much like Cannavaro, expected a bit more from him. Bisek, I think right now on the base version, I'd go into the A. With the evolution, I think that takes him back into that S category, maybe even higher with the upgrade, but we are doing it based on their base version. If you've evolved him, then obviously let me know down below what you think about him, but I do think that evolution does look pretty nice. Danzo, nice card again. I'd kind of go for more of a bog standard. Delit, I could see in that S, and this is the point, like people will say that there's a lot in the S category. This is the whole point of them. This is what Futties and what the Euros, the Festival of Football, was ramping up for, to give you multiple options across the board. Like, you could use any of these and be very happy. Like, you could go with a Carvalho and you could go with a Baresi or a Marquinhos and a King. They're not necessarily what I would consider the best options, but they're not going to hinder you into the point where you can't play with them. So that is the big thing. Even from A, I'd say you could definitely get a decent amount from them. If I was going for the rest of the Michael Marks, I think you've got a decent level. I think Van der Ven was a very good addition to the game, and hopefully a Futties would see him a little bit higher. He's definitely got the body type for it, so it'd be very interesting to see where that card does go. You got the likes of Vasquez and kind of just unfortunately the lower body type sort of players that they're good, but they're just not quite on that next level. I think Laporte just goes one under. Hincape, I'd go one down now. Same with Koyunde. He again could be due a good Futties upgrade. He can't be a 95 or 96, hopefully, so maybe he comes during the 97, 98 era. That would be really nice in himself. Martinez, a little bit let down from him. I think he's very good in-game, but he could have been better. I think the path to glory for him, if he did manage to get the almost the full whack from him, would have been really nice, but he just unfortunately didn't get what I kind of wanted from him. I feel like he was just there as a name more so than anything. Obviously then with Bonucci, very good card in himself, definitely dropping down a little bit, and I wonder if we can go a little bit closer, might be a little bit better for you. Rudiger is obviously easily in that S. Akanji, dropped down one, but very, very close. Again, could get a Futties. We normally see him in a Futties, so that would take him back up. Romero is an easy S. I think he's phenomenal. The playstyle pluses definitely help him out massively. Gabriel, I'd go into more of an A+, very teetering on the end, to be honest. Bastoni would be the same as well. A Futties would definitely suit that out. That would be an easy S+ card because he was absolutely... You know what? I'm being very brutal for him. Joey Gomez and I'd say Stones as well would be in that S category. So I think that would be my list at the moment. Again, it could filter. There could be some players that you prefer. You might prefer Cannavaro to me, but from what I've played with most of these, I've kind of got a good feel for the top cards, and to be honest, it's what you see most of. Again, some of these could creep into the S+, but to keep the S+ down a little bit, they are personally my favourite centre-backs in the game. Let me know down below what you think though, and what is your pairing at the moment, and who is the next 99 centre-back on your list. Peace.